Yeah.
But if you're a good music follower, know that a complete artist can do any song at any time. And talking about laying on me, there was a time we were used to singing that song. We will sing it again and again because we have the firepower, the financial muscle for as many people as possible to lean on us. But now, even when people want to lean on us, you say, Allah, you don't lean on me.
Don't lean on me.
Don't lean on me. But I hope those good days will come again where we can say, oh boy, what's up? You need the shoulder to, come on, come on.
Come on,
I
lean
have
on
you.
me. You understand?
Have you covered?
It's an expression of optimism,
You know.
and we actually saw just a glimpse of it yesterday from the presidency presenting the budget at the National Assembly yesterday from the presidency, and most of us Nigerians are believing that okay, the bit of good is never seen, not until when it passes through
You know.
fire. So let's say we passed through the fire and we survived. You understand? So let us just believe and be optimistic that by next year, you understand, this time of next year, we would be saying that, man, we thank God for life. We survived 2024 and here we are, 2025. We are counting our gains.
Most definitely, it's a beautiful Thursday morning on OGBC 90.5 FM. It's the 19th day of December in 2024. Our guest is in the studio already, and we have a lot to talk about, but specifically, we'll be looking at the many trips of Mr. President trying to woo investors into our nation, Nigeria, bringing business interest, investments into the country to boost the economy and to get the economy flying. Mr. Ayodele Akishola is a former deputy editor-in-chief, news agency of Nigeria, NAN, and of course a social commentator, a professional that we appreciate him for coming once again. Good morning to yourself.
Good morning, Debo, and my other
Good morning.
Temitope, and our I call them committed listeners.
Listeners.
Yeah, you have LGBC is flagship of government radio, because in the early 80s and all of that, some of us have become so addicted.
Wow.
So I want to greet our addicted and committed listeners as there.
I was with one of our listeners recently, and he told me he's an 80 something year old man.
So
He said,
generous.
my radio set has never been moved from OGBC.
OGBC.
So I wake with it, I sleep with it, and I loved that.
That is elder about what, yes.
Okay, so let's move straight into this morning's discussion topic.
Yeah, they were most definitely. President Bola Tinubu is making frequent international travels a cornerstone of his administration. In quick succession, he recently jetted to Saudi Arabia, Guinea-Bissau, and Germany with the aim of attracting foreign direct investments. In his first 6 months in office, President Tinubu has visited 10 countries. Twice each, he has been to France and Guinea-Bissau, adding the United Kingdom, Kenya, Benin Republic, and India for good measure. On his trip to Berlin, Germany, he explained that he was attending the G20 Compact with Africa Conference to sustain its momentum in advancing the cause of Nigeria. Major opposition parties have faulted President Tinubu's frequent travel abroad. According to them, the president is more interested in globe-trotting than addressing pressing issues in the country. But the presidency said a leader who sought to bring foreign investment couldn't afford to sit back when the invest is out there. In the past 18 months in office, President Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima have embarked on 43 trips across 28 countries outside the shores of Nigeria. Meanwhile, the presidential spokesman, Mr. Sunday Dare, explained that President Tinubu, as the chief marketer of Nigeria, couldn't afford to sit back. He says, and I quote, I think that a country looking for direct investment and trying to pursue a new trajectory when it comes to the critical sector of the economy, there is the need for the new president to quickly make sure that he interacts with other presidents, investors, and big international organizations who are present at most of these meetings they attend. And yes, there is work for the president. He cannot be a sit-at-home president. He must go out there and speak for his country. He needs to make a strong pitch The president is the number one spokesperson for his administration. These trips are not junkets, they are critical for the country's development. Today, on our program, we are looking at the president's travel. What are the benefits for Nigeria and Nigerians? And to join us in the conversation, like Debo has already said, we have Mr. Ayodele Akinshola, a veteran journalist, former deputy editor-in-chief, News Agency of Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Gushala, once again, you're welcome on board.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's start by looking at, give us an overview of President Tinubu's recent travels and why are these trips necessary?
Thank you very much, Debo. In international politics, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's numerous foreign trips. To some, yes, they could see it as jamboree, they could see it as globetrotting, they could see it as his junketing, or perhaps that he loves, traveling. But that is not so. Because in international politics, like I said, it's a president of a country cannot sit at home. Perhaps even because of his advantage position as the ECOWAS chairman. Yeah, he needs to go out and meet people, meet minds. And so he's going out. One is just like Temitope described him as a chief marketer. He's not only the chief marketer, he's the chief public relations officer or manager or officer of the country. He has to, launder the image of the country abroad, take Nigeria to where. Don't forget, when he came on board, he inherited some diplomatic crisis, which I will mention later. Okay. And so he's going out, traveling. Is foreign travels. So it's referred to, in international politics as diplomatic tours or state visit. Okay. And this is in consonance with his mandate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mandate, that focuses on four things. I call it 4Ds. Okay. Demography, democracy, diaspora, and then development. Mm-hmm. So these are anchored on these four pillars, the 4Ds. And so for him, if whether it's at home or it's not at home, issues are always addressed. Problems are always addressed. There are officials that are responsible, for each of the. Okay, if you talk of economic crisis, does it mean that he must sit at home and then he will be the one to provide solution and all of that? He has the economic team. He has the economic advisors. He has the governor of central bank, minister of finance, and all. I can mention many others. And so he's being briefed. People should not think that when the chief executive travels out of the country or out of the state, like a governor, for example, his officials, the permanent secretaries, the ministers, the commissioner, they are always briefing them. This is the situation and all of that. And from whatever he is, he controls affairs. He manages and runs the affairs of government by giving, his advice, and directive, if necessary, if need be, to officials that are concerned. So the overview of the president's visit, to me, is not globetrotting, as critics will call it. It's not junketing, it's not diplomatic junketing. Don't forget, there are no ambassadors. The country has not yet appointed ambassadors, that would, carry on with the interactions and then diplomatic cooperation. Yes. So, and like I said, these visits, foreign tours, or whatever you call it, state visit, you see, first is to foster foreign relations, to promote economic cooperation.
I actually thought we were going to break down the D's for us.
Yes, I'm still coming to that. You see, to promote economic cooperation and then, address global issues. The whole world, there are critical global issues to be addressed. First is the climate change, and then you are talking of clean energy and all of that. So he has to go to conferences and summits that are very germane. So when you went when world leaders are called, to United Nations General Assembly. So, and a president of a country like Nigeria, the most populous nation in Africa, or perhaps a black nation in the world, will be absent. Why? And whereas you find a president from Togo, president from Benin Republic, Ghana, South Africa, and all of them being there. So what will be the justification or the reason for our president to be absent there? So, and in the last count, like Temitope said, I could say maybe he has made about 41 trips.
Okay.
41 trips, which are very necessary. Not all of them are state visits. Some of them are call to duty. Like I said, the UNGA, the United Nations General Assembly, has been to US a couple of times. I'm not sure he hasn't had state visit to that country. But all of this put together is laying a foundation, for the economic prosperity and cooperation, for this country between Nigeria and all other countries. I can recall vividly that when President Olusegun Obasanjo took the reins in 1999, he inherited a very parlous economy. The situation was scary. It was zero. In fact, if there's anything like the economy was on his belly, he inherited a prostrate economy, and so the price of crude in the global market, crashed, came down as low as $25 per barrel, and so he had no money to run government and all of that. That happened for about 3 or 4 years in his first term. But what I'm driving at is this: President Obasanjo embarked on foreign travels. I think about 65 countries. And what did he achieve? They wrote off the debt of the country. He went with Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the then Minister of Finance. They went and then they went around the world, begging, they were on their knees, begging for debt forgiveness, so that the debt was already choking Nigeria. Olusegun Obasanjo inherited
backlog.
The debt was so much that would have again, hamstring his government, from performing and all of that. So he achieved that. So it was people at that time, they criticized him, say President Obasanjo was globetrotting and all of that. He was not at home and all of that, but he achieved something. So, like I said, Nigeria is now being reintegrated back into the world. And the good thing that we are enjoying under democracy is that a president of a nation like Nigeria, is out there, and then people can see him and receive him. People could say, "Oh, he's attending some global event." His time is not enough for him to interface, to interact with world leaders there. So he needs private visits or he needs state visits for him to now take up the nitty-gritty of what is coming up, is putting on table, so that the two leaders can exchange views.
So after the break, sir, we'll take a look at the economic opportunities.
Okay. But
Before
before
okay,
this,
okay,
yes.
so break down this.
Break down before
this, then ask that. So that okay, therefore, you ask that. Yes, sir.
gains. We have not gone to the.
That's going to come after.
Yes,
No problem,
I'm
sir.
talking about the benefits and all of that.
Yes, sir.
People can look at this. He's putting some money in his pocket, extra code in the pockets of some money.
First of the morning, former Deputy Editor-in-Chief, News Agency of Nigeria. Now, Mr. Akishola, let us take a look at the 4 Ds that you mentioned in the course of this conversation. I want you to break down the 4 Ds and how Nigerians will benefit from these Ds.
Thank you very much. Like I said, these are the pillars of Bola Tinubu's diplomatic tours and all of that. First is development. Development is about development issues. We're talking of what Nigerians are facing, economic problems. Talking of infrastructure problems. We're talking of even the human capital, the development, and all of those things. And so he needs to go out there and say, "Hey, I have these issues on my hand. How do you come in, to help me, to address some of these issues?" Because you see, the whole world is a global village, it's a global community, and so no country can be an island and exist alone and say, "Oh, I'm self-sufficient. I can face it. I can address my problem. Oh, I don't need to involve any other country in the running of my affairs." No, it's so in trying to push the what is it called, development, for example, it needs aid, it needs grants, it needs loan and all of those things. And so these are things you can now put before them. Okay, for me, this is what I have. I have serious unemployment in my hand, youth unemployment. And so in tackling this, is it by absorbing them into the civil service? No. The civil service cannot take more than it has. For example, you can't put 2 million people or 5 million people into civil service jobs. And so it needs to look at how they can create wealth, create jobs, for people, And so the issue will be that when it discusses that on development, and then it can get support from them. Then we come to the issue of democracy, another D. Democracy is the in thing. And for countries, I pity countries that they experience military intervention or interruptions. You cannot go out there if you are not a growing democracy, or let me say a stable democracy. And so they will hear you. Those who are the proponents of democracy, those who sold democracy to us, and we bought it wholesale. Not we are not paying on installment basis, wholesale. And then thank God that in Nigeria we can be proud of about 25 years or so of unbroken democracy.
Yes.
And so these are things that you can go out there and tell the whole world, look, we are not under military dictatorship. We are not being ruled by jackboot and all of those things. And so on democracy, so many things that countries in the world like US, UK, and all of that, they can assist a country like Nigeria by giving them not loan this time around, grant, and say, okay, we're going to be involved in this aspect of this and all of that. So it needs that. And then talking of we have the issue of diaspora. Diaspora go on a state visit. Oh, my children, my sons, my daughters, please be law abiding. Nigeria has a name to protect. Don't go into cybercrime. Don't go into anything that will tarnish the image of the country. So he has that opportunity, and then he can now rub minds with them, meet minds with them, and say, look, we are also, these are the things we are doing at home. Okay, that you can be proud of. That we will need you, to help us to key into. And so these are issues that the president, needs to take out there, for people to buy into, for Nigerians out there to buy into. Under President, the former President Muhammadu Buhari, the amount of billions of dollars that Nigeria raked in from diasporans, for Nigerians in the diaspora, I can't recall the amount, but it's huge. And so our citizens abroad, Nigerians abroad, are repatriating, their money back home, and it's helping the economy. And so these are the things, and that's why sometimes when people want to, criticize Japa or criticize people going out there, I said, look, the government of Nigeria should not frustrate them. They should not go against it, because this thing has been on for ages. Even when I was in secondary school, as early as maybe 10 years or so, our Nigerians have been going out, and they are doing well. And then look at even in Britain, who is now the Labour Party leader, MP leader. Very soon and in future, it could be prime minister of she could be prime minister of UK. And so these are, if she didn't go out, if the parents of the didn't go out, would they have such opportunity? So I want to let's all, the people should not japa, senselessly. They should. What are you going to do there? Are you going to school, and then after school? Are you going? So having said that, all of this put together, is the driving force behind Bola Tinubu's.
Okay, now let's open the phone lines for our esteemed listeners to be part of the conversation this lovely morning. 0803-437-9453, 0815-032-0226. Mr. Chinela, you said it the other time that some people are ardent listeners of OGBC. They will also want to be part of the conversation this lovely morning. You can call 0803-9453 and 0815-032-0226. We are live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Handsome gentlemen.
Good morning.
Compliment of the season to you.
We wish you the best.
Oluranti Ojelade is my name from Okeata. Fact, I give kudos to your guest there. Fact, I just want to submit that 2025 is going to be a wonderful one for Nigerians. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
0803-437-9453 and 0815-032-0226. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Debo. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir.
I want to say with you that I don't think around going out. I don't want to let people say it's just that for real. But we are still to wait to see the results. I don't think that we need to go out and meet people, meet other leaders, to be able to share the country. I agree with that. In fact, when they were campaigning, the fear of many people was that whether Tinubu was very enough to go out. That's what you fear. Now they are surprised. In fact, we were surprised that it's helpful to have been boosted and it's able to go around just to show the world what we have in this country. But we still want to wait to see the result. It's good for me. It's good that he's able to go out to meet people. And I agree with the policy analysis. So that I don't want to go around them. I think you have the advantage, especially being able to have people in diaspora. That's very good. Let us wait to see. My concern is that in 1999 Constitution has not given us just hope that we're able to achieve something. Thank you for your analysis.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 03-437-9453, 0815-032-0226. Numbers to call this morning. So, as we await more calls, let's go to some of the visible. Okay, let's check that out. Hello, good morning.
Gentlemen of the press, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
I commend Mr. Akinshola.
Your name and your location, sir.
Pardon?
Your name and your location, sir.
Yes, Wale Owoshe
Thank you.
I'm following very, very critically. I want the completion of the analysis on the 4Ds. He has given us two. Development, diaspora. We are waiting to hear the detailed analysis of the other 2Ds before I will now come back again if I have the opportunity.
Good morning.
I'm glad you're following very, very well. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Can we just take that?
Oh, okay. So
Let's see.
just quickly, time will not permit for. I've talked extensively about the 2 or 3 Ds. Diaspora, development, democracy. About demography, the demography is the fourth one. Demography, talking about the demographic indices. A nation like Nigeria has so much, to sell to the world.
Outside world, yes.
Our population is an asset. And we are not just big for nothing. We have resources, that can match, our demographic status.
Prowess.
Prowess. So all of these things are the things that we have to, sell to the world, and which Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing effectively. So, like I said, there won't be time for me to delve into this 4Ds extensively, maybe for another time. I also want to thank Dela Day from Okeata, and the elder Simi Bao from Isara. What we are looking at is that we must be very dispassionate about it. Joining people to criticize just for the sake of criticizing will not take us anywhere. I want to, do I say, I pity, I don't envy President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Traveling, I've experienced it. I experienced jet lag anytime I travel too much. So the last time we went to France, cold was too much. The jacket he was wearing, the coat, in fact, about 3 or 4 clothes. And I saw him, cold hitting him. It's not for him. It's in the interest of Nigeria. He has not gone to those countries to transact his own personal business. He's going there on behalf of Nigeria and Nigerians. So I want to, people should just bear with him that very shortly we'll begin to see, the benefits of all these, what quote and unquote, what they call globetrotting, which I believe is a very good state visit and all of that.
I love what Mr. Simibawo said earlier, that before Mr. President emerged, Nigerians were like, he cannot do it. Look at his health. The state of health cannot even do anything. How can he represent us? How is he able to be able to do it? But now, some people are saying he's traveling too much, meaning that there's no concern about his health. But I think it's an indirect way to prove that Mr. President is healthy, and he has the ability to be in the steering wheel for this nation, behind the steering wheel for this nation. Now, have there been any visible? Okay, let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again. My name is Wale Owoshiri.
Welcome back, sir.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Anishola,
Yes, sir.
thank you for the analysis. They are just very beautiful enough, and you have opened the eyes of many people who thought Mr. President was just globetrotting. You have opened their eyes to a lot of things. Yes, I pity Mr. President because the man is really trying, no doubt about that. But you see, all his ministers and his executive members should be on their toes to see that they join him, they join hands with him in bringing succor to this country, to Nigerians, because the situation is very tense now. And you said something which I'm happy about. You said shortly we will start to see the benefits. Some people have been deceiving us that we have been seeing positive results, which I have never seen with the common man. But I quite agree with what you have said, that very shortly we will start to see the benefits. That is, all Nigerians will start to see the benefits. And God will give us the grace and the elongation of life to enjoy the benefits in Jesus' mighty name. Good morning once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Uche.
you. 0803-437-9453. 0815-032-0226.
Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning, people.
Good morning, ma.
To our analysts, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Ma.
Okay, oh, Mrs. Egbayemi.
The woman is getting old, so her voice is cracking.
But by your voice, you're not old.
You are forever young, ma.
Yeah, forever young, ma.
80 plus is old, you know. Thank God for all your lives and for what you are doing.
Thank you.
This is Adeyinka from Kwaibu. I really appreciate the journalists for giving us a down-to-earth breakdown of what is happening in international relationships. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
They have really made us know that international relationship is not just legal here and there, or traveling here and there, but for personal reasons, for reasons that are good for the country and for even those not in the country. But one thing I want to say, the president is trying. He's traveling out for different reasons. As the chairman of president of ECOWAS, he has so many countries under him that have to be seen to when there are problems here and there. Even when there are no problems, he wants to do their welfare. That is enough to even make him travel a lot. Then with international relationship, he can't be an island unto himself. He must travel out to see what is happening. And when they invite him, he has to go. So I don't blame him for his travels. And you see that most of the traveling too, they allow the vice presidents to go so that they will see what is happening. But the problem I have is how the president, as he travels out, sees to the welfareism of the citizens of Nigeria. He knows that things are bad. He says it every time. For example, he's amassing where to offer debt. I don't think all these debts will be settled in a day. Let him spend some of the money he's using to offset debt to see to the welfare of the people at home. This, as Mr. Chief said, are things very hard. How can you buy a bag of rice for 100,000, a kettle of oil,
Vegetable oil.
100,000? They are not easy for people, and people are dying. Let him please, let him use some of the money he's saving to alleviate sufferings of the people. Then I think there was a time he was saying they will import rice again or something like that. Let this be done. People are dying. I appreciate him for what he's doing. For example, for once in Nigeria, the refinery is working. The refinery working, I know because of the other refineries at Kaduna and other places to make them function. But when the refineries are working, what advantages are we getting? The price of oil is still very high. It should please see to this that we lower the sufferings of the populace. This is what we are saying.
All right.
He's trying. Please let him try the work.
Thank you.
See to the welfare of the people. We are suffering.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, since Mr. Ben does talk about what Nigerians can benefit from those trips, let's look at that and then your advice to Nigerians.
All right. So very quickly, like I said, we are looking at the issue of Mr. President's, foreign travels on a broader, scale. First, I look at it that there are things that are already, trickling in.
Mm.
For example, the foreign direct investment (FDI), because of he has been able to track foreign direct investment, to the country. For example, you see from China, for example, or from India.
Mm.
Indian investors have pledged about, I think, $14 billion, for Nigeria, and of Muhammadu Buhari,
Even South Africa.
South Africa. So that has been resolved. Nigerians now are free to they can travel to Arabia and all of that. And look at the recent one. South Africa we could not need visa. I'm sorry, passport to be able to take South African visa, and they've liberalized, the issuance of visa to Nigerians. What do we want? So these are immediate benefits that are coming to us. And then two, the same South African government or president, Ramaphosa, yes, sorry, now pledged the support of South Africa to Nigeria to become a member of G24, of G24, and so that these are things, a lot of benefits will come to Nigeria.
And the BRICS as well.
Yes, and the BRICS as well. A lot of benefits are going to come to Nigeria from that. And again, Ghana, Nigeria, by its, for us, is foreign travels and all of that, he's been able to back or throw his weight behind the candidate of Ghana, Mrs. Shirley Botshe, to become the Secretary General of Commonwealth, the Secretariat designate of Commonwealth. So, and I think by April next year, the woman will take office. It's a plus for Nigeria that we didn't field a candidate, but Mr. President thought it fit, to support, the candidature of Ghana. Yeah. So, and we got that. And again, the visit he made to Brazil is so, in fact, it's so heartwarming that you could see Brazil, apart from well, they are known for food. You don't know that Brazil is noted for agricultural revolution. Yes. In fact, after Israel is Brazil. And so we're talking of agribusiness. We're talking of agricultural revolution and mechanized farming that will see the country through. And then again, we see what we could get from France too. And all of those things. I don't know. The benefits are many. The benefits are many.
And I think I've done justice already to this topic. Thank you very much for coming around to, stay on this morning. And I know the listener at home is also grateful for getting the enlightenment needed on this topic.
Yes, most definitely. We most appreciate our guest once again, Mr. Ayodele Akinshola, former Deputy Editor-in-Chief, News Agency of Nigeria. Thank you so much for the time on the program.
Thank you very much, Debo.
Thank you so
and
much.
Then for allowing me to
express yourself.
Thank you. And for our callers and all those who interacted with us and listened, I thank you all.
Thank you very much. I most sincerely appreciate those that we worked together from behind the scene, from the newsroom. We have Elizabeth Kuforiji as well as BC Musari. Daniel Okechukwu is the ICT man in the studios this lovely morning. President Important is Samuel Adeneye, and the big man behind this show, the producer himself, Femi Shola Uni, is the producer. My name is Temitope Babalola. Please do have a great Thursday morning. We love and appreciate you.
I'm Debo Adeyinka. Have a nice day.